George, first straight through us. George, big Chelsea fan. What do you want to say, mate? Good morning.
Morning, guys. Great show as always.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a rant like I always do. But I was there last night. I was there, okay?
Yeah.
And what I saw was gutless, toothless, lazy, players playing for themselves, not as a team. I didn't see one leader on that pitch, okay? You got Silva, the guy's 38 years old. Come on. You know, Tuchel is pulling out all these excuses. I love Tuchel. I love him. I love what he does and how he's come in and done it. But do you think Bowen and his friends have bought Chelsea to watch that? You know, if that was Abramovich, I think he'd be in that office this morning. You know, and you got someone like Pochettino out of work. Tuchel needs to pull their socks up, and they need to start performing, because that was a shambles last night. It was embarrassing. And we've got Liverpool turning up in a couple of weeks. Then we've got Haaland and co turning up. I fear for us. I absolutely fear for us. Pulisic, Ziyech, they're just not good enough. Jorginho running, what's he doing? Havertz, you got Broja on the bench, then he brings him on, and you saw a completely different Chelsea. We had somebody to focus on.
Yeah, Broja's good.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. That is not good enough. Like 2 losses, 1 win and a draw from Chelsea Football Club. That's not good enough.
Wow. George, I know you. You've come on a few times, and you're normally very constructive and very positive about your beloved Chelsea, but not this morning.
Yeah, I think you've lost a bit of perspective and reality on it, because what you've got to take into consideration, they've absolutely battered a Tottenham team that are people talking about now as challengers, and everyone's raving about. They were ahead of when a lot of their first choice players were available in that game.
Yeah.
They should have won the game comfortably. They've had 2 poor away performances, which is a concern, no doubt. But yesterday away at Southampton, you've got James missing, your most productive wide player at the moment. You've got Kante, your best midfielder, missing. Kovacic not fit enough to start. You've got a depleted backline because of the sale of Rudiger
but
and
Danny,
Christensen.
this is Chelsea. Whatever your starting lineup is, you
should be better. Yeah, but you still each result you have to put into isolation and not make. He's gone through the door and won the Champions League, right? Talking about Pochettino, he's not won the Champions League. You're talking about Pochettino being out of work and Tuchel. You know, it's like implying that he might be a better fit. Let's put things in perspective.
Is that a fair comment from Danny?
Oh, absolutely.
I
think
George.
Pochettino, in some people's eyes, is something that has been built up in the eyes of the media.
Yes, correct.
Yes, he did well at Tottenham for a period of time. Didn't win anything. Had an opportunity to win the Premier League, and with all due respect to Leicester, they ended up finishing 3rd, but ultimately Tottenham had a chance there. He didn't go to PSG and do anything of any significance, so much so that he was agitating for a move after 6 months. Absolutely not. Tuchel every day of the week over Pochettino.
But the sparkle's gone to a degree.
Yeah, of course it has, because you've gone past the stage now where we can give them this wonderful plaudits of having been there for 5 minutes, won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Last year, they were okay. The Lukaku signing has proven to be a mistake, and his handling of the situation, albeit strong with Lukaku, has brought no outcome to the football club.
It's a big season for him, no doubt.
Season.
I'm not suggesting he should get away with consistently playing badly.
Sure.
But there are mitigating circumstances about the result last night.
Mitigating circumstances. Jason, Chelsea fan, what's your take on it?
Well, I just think the transfers have been poor from the start. I think, obviously, Sterling, great signing, but I could have made better decisions in that boardroom.
Yeah, I think the Cucurella one was strange when you've already got left-sided players. A lot of money on a player who's not going to make you that much better. He's steady.
Like you all said, put that money into something that we do need.
Yeah, I agree with that. But he'd be interested in the next 48 hours. I still think there'll be some movement.
I mean, Jason, one or two people saying, wait a minute, we're 4 games in. I mean, everybody calm down. But are you concerned?
Yeah, I'm very concerned, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that we need a striker. And he said no to Ronaldo. We're not in a position to say no to Ronaldo. You could have gone and got Mitrovic. You could have gone and got Tony.
Mitrovic.
Zaha. We're now getting linked with Zaha. It's a bit too late for that. We've let players go and we have replaced them.
Okay, Jason, I mean, I have to say, you mentioned Mitrovic.
I think
I watched Mitrovic last night.
He's good,
My
doing
God,
all right.
but nobody would have predicted he'd start the season like that.
Absolutely
Nobody. Broja is a super talent, and he fits the Tuchel mould in that his work ethic's great off the ball. He runs the channel. He plays for the team. He's not a selfish, look-at-me type player. He did well at Southampton. I know he's young and he has had a few injury problems, but if they don't get someone in, they're going to have a focus. Maybe he can come to the fore. We'll have to wait and see. But I think they'll do business.
It's a very interesting season to have started the way it has.
Yeah.
Man City are giving away goals for fun and giving teams chances. And yes, they're coming back, but they're giving teams chances. And if Palace have got that third goal,
Done.
which, by the way, was a goal.
It was a goal, yeah.
Game done. Right? So there's an interesting dynamic. Liverpool started with a sort of very staccato step and have got themselves going against a dreadful Bournemouth side to win 9-0. You know, and then you look at Chelsea and you wonder what's happening with Chelsea. I thought they were pretty bland against Everton, who were rubbish on the first day of the season, besides working hard, but that's the least you expect from a team. You go to the Leeds game, they were completely out-fought in every department.
But the game still turned on a silly goalkeeping mistake.
Granted, but it
wasn't. It wasn't.
Notwithstanding
good,
that, it was still not great in that game.
So what are you doing? You're cutting Chelsea a bit of slack.
So what I'm saying is there is a strange dynamic going on in the Premier League at this moment in time, with the top sides not quite hitting their straps as they normally do. Yes, Man City are. So it looks like, from that point of view, that Man City are the one exception, but they're getting away with a few things. City.
Look, 2 weeks ago, every show after the weekend of football was talking about the Chelsea-Tottenham game, what a great game it was, but how far ahead of Tottenham Chelsea are, based on that performance.
Yeah.
And what we're what, 10, 14 days later, and we're saying Chelsea are in turmoil.
Because they've gotten beaten by Southampton and Leeds.
Away from home, without four of their best players.
Ash is a big Manchester United fan who's been waiting patiently, wants to say something on this Chelsea situation, maybe compared to your own situation at United. Ash, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Look, it's laughable hearing the amount of protection that Chelsea are getting, Liverpool are getting. United have gone out there, look, fair play, new manager. They've started the season, they've lost 2 games against a lesser opponent, with respect, a lesser opponent. Mm-hmm. Chelsea go out, do the business, spend nearly the same amount as United. They're in, mid 150 million, whatever they've spent. They go and lose 2 games, lose against Southampton, they lose against Leeds, but all of a sudden there's a protection about Chelsea. Oh, they've got the players out. Oh, they've got this out. Oh, they've got that out. Then there's this massive media presence about Martinez that he can't cut the Premier League. Are we not talking about Koulibaly and Silva last night getting bullied by Che Adams?
It's a fair point, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a very fair point, Ash.
But it also sounds like a victim's complex.
Well,
there was an equal playing field. This media presence. Martinez got beaten within an inch of his life at Brentford, so people observe upon it. It is a phenomenon that, and you can list them, Baresi, and you can list other players. They didn't play in the Premier League. The Premier League has a unique difference, that there is a competitivity to it that doesn't exist in the Italian and Spanish leagues. So this idea that people aren't being put through a focus. We just sat here saying that you're calling your own players soft, yet you signed them. No one is providing a media narrative that biases Man United. In fact, your club gets far too much attention for its actual achievements.
Well, the other thing is, let's put it in perspective as well and understand why Manchester United will be talked about more than Chelsea, and it's a bigger deal because they have been craving success for years. They've been nowhere near it for the last few years. Chelsea won the Champions League less than 18 months ago, finished in the top 4 last season, and were in 2 cup finals. That's why it's not a drama. Tuchel was 2 games away from winning 2 more trophies last season. United nowhere near it. So let's put it in perspective.
Okay, Danny, a lot of people saying, Danny. Listen to you there, Ambrosia. You're absolutely right. This guy can play. Let's hope we see more of him very soon. I said we'd talk about Southampton. We haven't done it. We will do it. We're coming up to 10:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.